Hi, that's me. I got real. So I uploaded the part 2 so single, and since I'm making more videos, I'm gonna do part 3, and that would be the date 8 or 9/2015. I gotta find. I bought a charger. Let's see. This is the now one. An hour and 7. I think that one is it, because that one was shorter. This one says date taken 9/15. It's a photograph. No, the photo has. So it's this one. Part 3. I'll say part 3. So single. I'm so tired. Yeah. Getting real. Past, present. I'll say past, present, future. What is going on in the now? I'll say getting real, comma, single. Oops, I did that yesterday. I spelled it single, mom, dateless, no dating, not desired, single black woman. So I'm going to publish that, and oh, I'm so cold. So I have a lot of bills to pay, and this is really cold. I gotta fix that one out. I want to take a shower. So I got moderate air quality today. Freezing. I don't really want to take a shower. I'm gonna have to go shut my blinds. I want to do some billing and coding. Here's another air quality. This is from the DBQ. This one has more little like pins than just the whole area. So basically, it's moderate. Going south to Salem, it's green, and then Mount Hood Forest, it is orange, and then Hood River in the Dalles, it is red, which is unhealthy, which is different than we had 3 weeks ago. So this is just to check in. Crazy. There are some people that made comments about the shooting that took place south of Spokane, I think, or Tacoma, Washington, and that's not that far from here, but it's closer to Seattle. There's what's the airport? SeaTac, Seattle Tacoma Airport, and they said that this kid shot this guy, and they didn't kill the kid, and they some people had some. This guy was giving away plywood, or his path got him fired. It's just being American. That's crazy. I know the comments are opinion. I know that in a way, news articles are opinion, are biased, even if they're like borderline. Delete. And it's like having like the guy had access to gun cabinet, the combination. He had access to the gun, and not only the guns but the ammunition. And he was 15. So somebody's kid died. and 3 other people got shot, and everyone witnessed this, and the janitor broke it up, but the gun got jammed anyway. It breaks my heart, and I shared part of my talking about my um, single series. I still talk a little bit about myself and about my kids and being grateful for what I have. And I have not been in any relationship in over 13 years. I've not had very many friends. I've been a single mom, and I kind of don't like, I feel like this is a little bit crooked. Not crooked, but when I keep having people reject me or not help me, or friends stand me up, I do more in the community to help others. It's like, if you call me and say, oh, meet me at the pie house for breakfast at 9:15, and I go there and I sit and I call you and I sit there till 10:30, and I'm like, oh God, I could have been listening or doing charting or billing for my clinic or see patients that want me to see them and make phone calls for them. Then it's like, um, I don't know. I'm going to start crying. Let me grab a piece of paper while I talk. I was just going to jump in the shower. Let me grab this. I'm going to handwrite it. This piece of paper's got like a stain on it. All my pens are wrong. And Sharpie, old watch band, necklace I'm working on. That's not, I forgot about, then I think about, then I forgot. If you saw my video that I'm posting right now, oh my God, I can't believe how tired I was. I was telling you guys, I couldn't even look. It looked brighter than it was. I had to hold a rag because my dark skin at night, you can't see me, my blot in the dark. It looks lighter than it is. I kind of trying to find something to write on. Yeah, so it's like, okay, I'm going to use a piece of paper that's not got stain on it. It's just irritating me right now. So I talked to him about who I was when I was a kid, like trying to take it with a grain of salt about how, like, we lived on the lake and how I went sailing a lot on the big lake and the little lake, and how we always had luxury cars, and a lot about the military, some about the homelessness with my ex-husband. So I was black, grew up really rich, not millionaires that I know of, but you never know, though. They didn't talk about the money. But my ex-husband was white, was little kid, a blonde little kid, but he was a white Indian, and he grew up really, really poor. But then having him have a lot of empathy, so I'm trying to take it with a grain of salt, of poverty and getting arrested for sitting on the side of the road, or like being homeless, getting arrested, and not being able to afford a lawyer. And he had a really big, like, I need to change earrings. He had a lot to do with, not to do, but a lot of issues with poverty and being treated a certain way because you're poor and you look poor and you come from a poor family, even though they made it work and they had a beautiful house that they hand built and they had a bunch of land. So they weren't in debt like I am. They saved money outside of banks. A lot of it got ruined, buried in the backyard, but that's more than I can say about my own self. I'm in severe debt. I come from a family that had a lot of money, but then there was a lot of racism and discrimination, and I didn't see it. I saw it with my parents because they were getting pulled over by the cops all the time, but they didn't really talk about it. They talked about biases and news making black people look bad, even though there's a lot of us that aren't bad folks, and we're humans anyway, but there's some people that have criminal behavior and criminal intent, and it doesn't matter if they're purple or green or what. And it's like some dogs, they have like a very bad temperament, and they might have been trained that way. But it's like going through and seeing what was happening to me, being called an N-word, and having teachers not believe me, and getting in trouble, and having somebody make up lies about me. So as I got older and older, the first time when I was in classes with all white people, I couldn't see in the mirror. So imagine, like, you have a 3-year-old and they never looked in the mirror before. Like, have you ever thought about that? Like, there might be some toy with some plastic mirror that you can't see anything. But if you have a house that doesn't have any full-length mirrors, or a bathroom mirror only, like, you can't see because you're like 1, 2, 3 years old and you're really short. When I got, like, so say this is the mirror and I can't see into it, and I wash my hands, I use the bathroom, and then I finally get my eyes where I can see in the mirror, and I'm like, oh my god, my skin is brown. It's supposed to be white. Everyone else's is white. And I see my hands, and I'm like, oh my god. Like, we call it the yellow bathroom. The yellow bathroom is just a toilet and a sink next to the washer and dryer. It is its own separate bathroom. It was so cute. Every bathroom that in the house I grew up was so, like, luxury with the tiles. It had a window that was made out of, it had the window that you go like this. I thought that was so cool. It's the only one in the house that you had to turn the little handle, and you could see the driveway in the woods. And it had the curtain that was like natural fibers that unrolled. I was like, oh my god, I love this bathroom. And did it have a yellow toilet? I think it had a yellow toilet. Tiled floors. I think they were white and yellow and green. So I don't remember because there were so many tiles in that house. And then the sink might have been yellow. I can't remember. It's like, I'm moving to these places. It's like standard. When the last place we had like pale beige, you could barely tell walls. And it was like pale yellow. I was like, ching. I was like, not ching. It was like still like welfare housing, but I was like, oh my god, we have white walls. Like, everyone is painting their walls. They're paying hundreds of dollars to buy the paint. They didn't paint our walls when we moved in, and they didn't replace our floors. Oh my god. And we lived here like 7, 8 years, so I don't know what to do. So I talk a little bit more about my background, and I try to speculate on why I am single. However, it's just working out that way. And like I said to you guys, it's not uncommon for me to be. It's a normal part of my life. It doesn't matter if I'm fat or thin, young or old, educated or uneducated. For me, there's no rhyme or reason as to why I am not attractive to men. I was like, I said this before, I'm like, maybe, like, I'm a Christian. People are just like, you're really liberal. Like, they never even consider, oh, today's the 15th. I'm really loving. There's no way I'm going to judge a prostitute, a gay, or anybody. There's no way I'm going to judge my own self, and that still might be too much, because then you get self-pity, because you realize how crappy of a person you are. That's how I feel. This pen is not writing well. So I wanted to say this because I mentioned many times about how many people told me I'm ugly and undesirable and fat, and that no one is going to like me, and no guys like me. They're like, oh my god, you're so unattractive. And it's really hard when your family and guys say this to your face. And I clearly remember being on, when three-way calling came out, and I was like, ask this guy if he'd go out with me, ask this guy. And I'd be on the background pushing mute on the phone. And my friend Anita would talk to men, and they're always like, I always either have freckles or like acne scars. And they're like, oh my gosh, she's nasty with all those black spots all over her face. So not only am I black with nappy hair and chubby, I have these scars. And even my mom, I told you, she wanted perfection despite her abuse. So it's probably a narcissistic quality. She's ashamed of being with me. So she had to get my teeth fixed. She got me retin-A and stuff. And I'm really concerned about, because I was like a sun baby, I'm really concerned about sun damage and sunburning, and even like this. I took oral pills and the creams. I have like this popped up mole that is creeping me out because I was in the sun a lot. No doctors take me seriously. No doctors or dentists. I've not even been able to go to a doctor in a really long time, except for during the car accident. But because no insurance will pay for it, and because I'm Medicaid, I can't pay out of pocket. I can't go. The only way I could go is if they did a pro bono, like that. I feel like that's the only way that I can go, and I haven't found that yet. Even teaching schools, they make you pay. And I might do that just to get general care, but I would have, there's a massage school. You see me in the videos like, oh my god, I'm in so much pain, and then I just like get like that, and my jaw got messed up, and the lawyers were trying to make me think that this was stress related, but I got diagnosed with TMJ after a car accident, and my jaw and I woke up with a migraine this morning, and I don't know if it's a migraine, but a severe headache, and I never got headaches like this except for the car accident. So the change in weather and all that, it's like it comes and goes. But the first 2 years I had this headache, it woke me up every single night, every single morning. And it feels like, which I don't know, a truck drove over my head. And I don't know what that feels like, but it's like, make it stop, make it stop. Like you feel like you're going to die of pain. So it was like that this morning. And I just am like, I would never wish this on my worst enemy. It's like so much pain all day, every day. And it's, you still, and then I have the numbness and tingling. And do you hear that? My house is vibrating. And basically my blinds are touching the wall, and it's like doing that noise. It's just like constant vibrating and craziness. It's almost like you have a washing machine on the other side of the wall or something. That's like, me and this guy, he was white, and this other guy, I don't know what happened to the other guy, who was younger than me, but we used to go to parties and after parties in the Detroit metro area when I was in the 90s, raves, and listen to music and get invited to. We were a trio that frequently got invited to after parties, and then me and my friend Ben would get invited after gay bars closed to after parties. And so basically, I'm not like a club kid, and there's kind of some gory stuff with that. But I researched this afterwards, saying what happened to little raver club kids. And I didn't realize that was a term, so I was like, oh, I used to hang out in gay bars, and there's some other clubs these people told me about. Like, when I went to college first year, I was 17, and people told me about raves and dance bars and a place called Heaven and Hell, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta dance all night, like, glitter, sparkles, disco balls. Like, I was into this as a child, and growing up in a small town, I never knew what I was talking about. I was really attracted to that. So, like, that to me is like Kraftwerk doing like techno-ish stuff starting in the 60s and then having their labels in the 70s of digital electronic music. Not just electric guitars, but dance, digital music, and then leading into disco and all that. So I was really into this in the early 80s. I was like crazy about my brother's records that had you get the instrumental, the dance beat version of it, the radio club beat version of it. I was like really into that. I was like watching these rappers like, and I was trying to, I was like, oh, I don't like this Kenny Rogers record too much. Let me do that. I was like, it doesn't sound like the rappers. But then I learned to spin records and what music is good for scratching and it's like the equipment that you needed to actually do it well, slip mats and all that stuff. So I have some slip mats in there that are glow in the dark. It's like you can't really see that show it because you have the record on top. But I want to pull my turntable system out. I should probably get it insured. But I yeah, I've got some stuff to do. Let me tell you, I just want to be that woman that's guided by God and not stressed about stuff. But literally, which just reminded me, I have some really important mail that I have to deal with right now. Literally, what is this? Let's see, what happened to my mail? Somewhere around here. I would go to these parties, and me and the dark-haired guy, he didn't have olive skin, but he might have had a little bit more olive skin. And I would, like, I've been, like I say over and over again, it's basically, I guess, ingrained in me, people saying how unattractive I am. And so I wake up, like, I basically, like, am lazy. Like, I changed and put on a pair of leggings before I went to bed, but I didn't change, like, my tank top. I, like, misplaced my pajamas. If you saw me last night, I was just like, I don't care about anything. I'll sleep right here. I wasn't comfortable, and there's a draft right here. So I'm always called unattractive, and that no man would ever like me. And I've heard this for over 40 years in my life, and it's really heartbreaking because you feel like it doesn't matter what you look like. There's people that are compatible, and that looks aren't everything. But to me, that belief, since I've been so alone, I still feel like even my inside is not attractive, or my interest, or who I am. So it's really heartbreaking to know that that's the type of person I am, and it's like I like bow down as a servant of God and do God's will, and as a human I make a lot of mistakes, and even more this year I feel like struggling because I came out of another abusive relationship with relatives, and I still feel really vulnerable, really weak, really, it's like what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, but you feel like you're weak due to fatigue and exhaustion and being broken by an abusive voice on the other end of a phone, being continuously told how horrible a person you are, how fat you are, how you're the reason that the world is having problems. And it got worse and worse until last year I couldn't take it anymore. So, anyways, back to this after parties. So, as this group, we were able to go to after parties. My ex-husband, we weren't ever invited to after parties, but I went to parties with him, and then I lost track of the other. But me and these other guys, we were just like, kind of like, yeah, like kind of chill, kind of like either from wealthy families or used to hanging out with wealthy families. So we were not like, we weren't like shady, like you're gonna come to our house and steal our dog or whatever. Like, I think my ex-husband, he just looked freaking shady. But and because he was an abusive person too, so people sense that. But anyways, I remember this warehouse outside in Detroit. It was on the river, and it was like a boat dock thing. You can't see it when you get there. You just like park, you follow people, they give you directions to the after party. So then you start like at a rate, there's like 500, 600 people, I don't know, 1,000 people. And then it dwindles down, and then it's like 4 or 5, 6 a.m. And then if you're invited to an after party, you go, and this is in the 90s, so I'm like really old school here. You go, and they did club kidding in the 80s and 90s. And I don't know, 100 people, 60 people, because they're going to tell like 30 people, 25 people, but then they have friends and rides, and someone tells somebody, but it's basically a private invitation. So maybe, let's say it's 100 people, and somebody's got their turntables, everything set up, and it's basically the party after everyone's dance so say you get there at 10, the first party, and you leave at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., you're basically dancing all night. I would drink Tang and water out of a baby bottle and chew gum. I feel like I was really into Willy Wonka's bottle caps. Oh my god, like, So it was basically a bunch of sugar. Like if I was to go now, I'd be like completely sober. I would drink fresh squeezed orange juice, and I would do like grapes. I don't do well with grapes for that. I would do a few grapes. Sometimes it's like something somewhat toxic. You're not supposed to give grapes and cherries to your pets, like to your rodents or whatever. So there's something in there that's medicinal, but it's like chocolate. It's also something that's a strong chemical. Anyways, I don't want to get into that. I eat grapes, even organic. I just bought some organic, and I'm still getting like cough. But I got some huge grapes, and I was having severe allergic reaction. And my daughter kept coming in like, "Mom, like what the heck are you eating? Because you're acting crazy. Your body is reacting." I was like, "This big grape's really good. You want some?" Like, you should not. This is not normal. You should not be eating that. That is like not. Your body is not liking that. I used to love getting that once a year. That's like, there's things I do once a year. Like kiwi fruit, giant grapes. I'm gonna do some research for somebody. Um, and we left one, and there was light. I think we got there before light, and then we went out back, and because it was like a dockyard or something, so people like work or they own buildings, and then they invite you to this party, or their dad, they got the keys. Nobody's gonna know that they got to clean up before. It's usually Friday, Saturday, Sunday before Monday morning, but you had like this big cement. I don't know. Pretend it's a thing you could put semi trucks. I remember this, and these guys. This happened to me and this guy Joel. Like I said, the darker skinned guy. I think he was white. He could have been Middle Eastern. I don't know what. Maybe a tad bit of olive skin. But if you saw him in a story, he was like, "Oh, some white dude and some black chick." Um, and we, like all the blonde kids and the rich suburban kids, they kept coming up to us and like, "Dude, were you guys here all night? Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, like, were you at the party last night? Yeah, we were. Like, we're not even from this town. Like, we had to drive like a couple hours to get here, so we've been up and at it all day, all day Friday morning till Saturday morning." And they're like, "Oh my God, you guys look like you got up and like got a good night's sleep and got dressed. Like, why do you guys look so good?" And so in like the 99% of people that find me like unattractive and look bad, and people think that I look unhealthy or all this stuff, then they're like, these people would say, "Oh my God, you guys look like you got a good night's sleep and you got up and got dressed and shaved and hair done." So I just want to throw that out there as a dark person. And I'm like kind of like a hippie. Like if I were to be the type of person that had my hair straightened and I wore tons of makeup and I had to dress to the T and do my nails and like actually brush my teeth like a normal person. Like, hopefully, I was eating seaweed last night, so hopefully my video doesn't have a lot of seaweed in my teeth because it's like a major teeth issue. And if I'm just like, I'm not into like changing my jewelry, as you can tell, I have this beat up old jewelry, everything mismatched. So like my standard look is like my kids are like, "Me and my brother we don't have very high standards for you, but no, you're not gonna get a job as a stripper." Like my kid's like, "We gotta keep the family name clean, Mom." Like, "Holy, I gotta pay you freaking rent. I don't care anymore. Like, I am so old. Anyways, I don't think they'd hire me, but I'm like desperate to do something legal at this town." Anyways, that was a conversation for yesterday. But I like, I was like, dang it. Like, I try to get paid doing natural medicine, something I love, and they don't pay me very well. I should say pay really well. I just don't have anyone, like, new patients, and half of my patients' insurance doesn't pay me, so I'm trying to get it over in English that either, like, I don't want them to change insurance, because then they might have to change dentists and their other primary care physicians, so I gotta be real careful about that. So, what it is, thinking of these things and really clear as though it was last weekend or even yesterday. I have 2 hours till I have to pretty much get ready to go. And having these people that are the people that are on the cover of the magazines, or the people that are showcased in all the TV shows, these light-skinned, light-haired, light-eyed people that have the fancy cars, even if they're standard cars or like 16-year-old driving a car that's less than a year old, and they're dressed in nice clothes, and they have all the, like, glow-in-the-dark necklaces or whatever, and they're like, God, we're, like, wearing these sweaty clothes, and, you know, their makeup is dripping down their face, the woman and stuff, and their eyes are, like, super bloodshot, and their hair is all greasy, and so my hair doesn't get greasy, and my hair was in braids, but bigger braids than this, so they would be like, man, you guys look like you got a good night's sleep and got dressed and came here. I was like, no, we were at the same party dancing, sweating just like you. But, and I always had oily skin too, so it's like you just sweat and go outside, and I don't know, maybe it had something to do with me drinking fluids, I don't know. But, because I didn't drink beer, at that point in my life. I was under 21, but I didn't, like, drink anymore. Like, I don't think I drank, like, at all at that stage in my life. I think I tried drinking half during that time in my life. No, it was like a year before. I tried drinking half a beer once. I couldn't drink. My body couldn't handle it, so it was, like, other stuff. So I just want to throw that out there to people, that if other people got this, like, you're so ugly, nobody will like you, you don't have any friends, and basically you're just a major geek, friendless geek, because even geeks, they can go and play some kind of, I don't know, card game, Dungeons and Dragons, like, even you can find, like, chess club kids, like, I don't know, I wasn't geared, my kids they're they're the chess masters of the family. I can play a game and my son tells me which direction I can move each piece, but that's really boring for somebody whose brain works, like, faster than a machine. So yeah, that's where I am. I'm really grateful for my son to play chess. I should pull the chessboard out today. I'm gonna vacuum in that closet anyways. So my goal right now is to declutter and to get out in public and stop being on a pity pot. I'm really anxious because my boss is coming to my work and I never met her, and you know, they watch us in corporate comms and takes pictures when we don't know it, so it doesn't matter. There's video cameras everywhere. Managers of the store are all over the place giving reports, so it's not like, oh my god, you're, like, working in a coal mine by yourself or a diamond mine chipping away and you decide to snooze in the sun for 3 hours. Like, it's not like I'm like that. But I do have health issues, which cause me to have to go sit in my car for a couple minutes, so I just use that as my break. And occasionally it's so bad I have to split out my lunch break. I don't even know if you're allowed to do that. Sometimes it's because the product I have needs to be, like, thawed or something. Like, I had some, like, super frozen ice cream and I was scared I was going to cut myself by, like, trying to pry it. But yeah, that's where I am right now. I'm going to go and listen to these guys for a few minutes because I am about to start bawling. I wanted to throw in that a couple of people said, you guys look so good. You guys look so fresh and so, like, your hair's not greasy. Your makeup dripping down your face. And I didn't wear a lot of makeup back then. Once I started going to parties, I was wearing the waxy eyeliners. I would dance for like 12 hours and sweat and sweat and sweat. And I noticed that makeup was coming out of my pores like, I went like 2-3 weeks once without wearing eyeliner and I had black coming out of my eyes, so it really creeped me out. I've been wearing a lot of makeup and I think that's part of why my eyes look so much older than they did on my videos. I think I've been wearing it since I've been on YouTube. I don't wear makeup every day, but in this town, from the time I got here until recently, I'm called Sir. Sir. So I, like, say I went out like this, right? And I'm like, have my hair in some kind of floppity knot. I used to have long dreads, and I'd floppity knot it. I have the earrings. I'd be carrying my kids, carrying a purse, which doesn't mean anything in this town because men wear dresses and carry purses, or man to woman, man to female. So I'll be like this, or I'll be at the gas station, like, I'm gonna get my purse. I'm like, okay, sir, what would you like? Thank you for your business, sir. And I was like, always in checkout, sir, sir, sir. So I always was called ugly and fat and nappy. So being called sir was like, just adding to feeling unattractive, and this was even worse after I left my ex-husband. And so I just, like, that doesn't matter either. Men wear makeup, whether you're straight or trans or gay or bi or whatever. Men wear makeup too, some like eyeliners and long dyed hair. People from the back, that people, like women that don't have any hips, it's like, is that a guy or a man? Long hair, can't tell. Long blonde hair, can't tell. So I wore makeup. I would get it from the Fred Meyer after church upstairs. I forget which one it is, maybe Fairview or something. And then I just did the basic eyeliner, and I have the same eyeshadow that I've had since. I'll show it to you. I have the same eyeliner that are not eyeliner, eyeshadow. Not much I can do. There's people. How do you wear shoes? Well, okay, so while I look at this stuff. Okay, so this is my Kabuto. I saw, like, that lady, Gravy Girl, open one of these, saying it's from the 90s. We actually have one from the 90s. Mine got lost. I had a purple one from the 90s. The 90s ones, and this, I knew right away it wasn't a 90s Kabuto. The 90s, she had the one like this with the tray, like the exact same one. I got this only a few years ago. The 90s one has, it's better. It has the mirror here, and it's adjustable. Like this one, if I set it in my lap, I gotta go like this. This one locks though. The 90s one, the mirror folded down, but it opened right here, and you could prop it and lift it and adjust it. And we have one. I'll show you that one later. That was my mom's. The front got in it, and we brought it back on an airplane too. Maybe that's how. This, hardly any pigment. I've had this. I've been using since I started wearing makeup again. And I have like stuff I bought that doesn't have the brushes and stuff. This is probably dried out. This is probably dried out. I have this because I needed a mirror. I kept getting stuff in my eye. In med school, you never want to leave class to like, I've got like Legos everywhere. My kids get really mad at me. They don't get mad, but just like I'm the child of this family. This is from when I was a kid. This is so old. So I basically only use this and that eyeliner, and I have so many like beaded things. This is actually a completed. And then I'll end up like thinking that I can use silver, or like from the Halloween store. This is probably old. That I can use orange mascara, but it's like, it doesn't work for me. Like, I had a couple of these. I think my daughter took this one and gave it back. This, like, it doesn't have a pad, so it makes it really inconvenient to use. And I should use that today. And then my daughter bought some of this for me. This is really old. This is a Wet n Wild. It's a good idea. This used to be the downstairs bathroom. If someone's upstairs, throw on. It's like nothing. If they kept breaking. It's a good idea, because then you have the eyeliner and the eyeshadow together, but it broke off like as soon as I bought it. And I jammed the thing back in there. This used to be a downstairs bathroom. If someone's upstairs, then go ahead and but I decided to put everything. I'm trying to consolidate stuff. You can see that everything in my house is messy. So this is one. My daughter. This is the newest one. This. My daughter told me to get all that stuff for this thing she was trying to do on my face. And I will do that. In fact, I'll take a shower soon and let you see that. She said I didn't need eyeliner or mascara because my eyelashes are dark. But there, especially since I quit smoking, that was like over 10 years ago. But I think your body still heals. This is just like like anything glitter. I have a powder glitter that I should probably use. I think I broke out in a rash of some dental floss. Yeah, but this is like so old. It doesn't smell bad. And then this is like super old. This should probably be thrown away. And then I do have one brush. And my daughter wanted it, but I was like, nope, that's like my one brush. And we have that same, like the green eyeliner, we have the same in brown, which is still downstairs, but I have like cotton balls and stuff down there. So what I was doing, I have a lip liner too. I can't wear lipstick. It makes my lips like literally turn black. I had some black, I think I have one downstairs, but I keep losing the pencil sharpeners. So I used to sharpen them. I have a blue eyeliner. I used to sharpen them and light it with a lighter, which is, so I didn't burn candles with incense back then, but I would use the lighters for my makeup. I'm gonna find the blue one because it's kind of not it, like most of that eyeliner. It says on the back once I got home that it's for blue eyes, and I'm like, oh, whoops. So I basically don't use it. Like if you use it like it says, people comment and they're like, oh, that looks pretty. Because I don't. You're supposed to do a little bit here and a little bit here. I might do that. I might combine what my daughter did in that, or I might do that one tomorrow. My daughter did a really good job of the makeup when she did it. So my eyelashes got longer, and a lot of older white women are like, "Oh my god, I love your eyelashes." Like older than 50, older than 60. I was like, really? It was like, when somebody says something nice to me, I'm like super shocked. Like, I'm like, you're insane. Like, nobody in my life was really saying this kind of stuff to me, and I'm like, I will question people's sanity when they tell me something nice about my style. I had a clean freak in my house tell me, wow, I really like your style. I'm like, you are. But she's like, no, seriously, I like how you put this here and this color pattern here. And so I understand what she meant. So I have a couple hanging file folders, and I need to move stuff over. But so the thing is, like, ooh, like this, I have stuff like this. Is this one open? I'm gonna list this. This one I have. This has, I think, all three. If it's not ever open, I'm not gonna open it. It has three. So I'm gonna put this up for sale. I have some somewhere, obviously, because I have this. I'm gonna put that back in here. I have to get rid of all of this stuff. And these things aren't getting bent, and I'm trying to sell those as well. Nobody's taking me up on those. Especially, I think I have 3 binders. I think I'm gonna put them up for like $4.99 right now. Plus, $3.99 plus shipping. I gotta do this paper. There's this paperwork I gotta do, and it's probably due, and I don't even know where it is right now. They sent me a postcard. There's just a lot that has to be done. And so this guy was saying, oh, don't watch YouTube and TV while you're, while you're listening, but I find that I am not able to do anything, unless unless I'm either talking through it, or unless I'm watching something. And I saw Nicole State, and this is a guy, I saw Nicole State showing fast-paced, listing 100 items as drafts, and she's going to go to the office later and do the, she goes, oh, my kids are in bed at 10, so she was sitting in the living room watching TV and having this marathon and watching TV. I said that like 4 times. but she, she edited it, so she had the sound. But I'm like that person that needs, as a woman, I don't know if it's as a woman, my brain, I have to like multitask. Like, I could set a timer right now for an hour and just listen to the voice of God. Like, I could do that right now. I might do it, it makes me nervous to say an hour. I might try it. I need to quiet my brain. But basically, I'm going to list this because I bought a bunch of school supplies. You see stuff on sale, and just like shipping for my store, you always want to have tape. Scissors. I have scissors now in multiple places. These ones are really bad, but they're still available if I don't feel like going across the room. The good ones are in the drawer. I was going to put them in that box that should shipping box. Anyways, it's kind of like being a doctor, being in my clinic, being and shipping products to people, and being a student. You want to be like, oh gosh, I need a report cover. I need some more tape. This one's empty. I need this size box. And you want to have it in your house and in stock. Oh, I need to get this medicine. Oh, I need a Band-Aid. Oh, I need to cover for a thermometer. All of that stuff. So I'm learning how to manage that. When I lived in this place called Sunrise Place, it was a transitional housing. It was temporary, women and children. Most of the residents were from Native American reservations. So they were Native American Indians and their children, women and their children. Most of them came from the reservation, I don't know the name, in Montana. There was one family from Warm Springs, and there was me and another African American woman. She had one or two kids. I know she had a girl. There was a girl across the street named Pretty Bird, and we donated our coat that we had, big thick leather. My daughter's so mad at me for that one. We got rid of a lot during the big purge, but it is what it is, right? And her name is Pretty Bird, and I like, no, you're kidding. What's your name? I didn't realize like Native Americans had names like Pretty Bird, like their first name, and they were kind of hoodlums. This and the little black girl, they were just unattended, and they kept ringing my doorbell, and in the middle of the night, I knock on their door. Parents would never answer, or the big sister, the one girl, answered. No, I won't sleep, sorry. And I'm like, you can tell her that your sister's not ringing my doorbell, running away. And I was so mad, but I tell you, I don't have many friends. I didn't know these girls, and this has happened in my neighborhood a couple of times. As a struggling single mom, and it's always girls that are young and outside playing unattended anarchy. Like they have no rules, fighting, cussing. And this happened in Summer's place, and it happened here. They see me carrying stuff in the middle of the night, or heavy stuff, and they're like, hey, just a minute, we'll help you. It's like, this happened to me 3 times, where these girls were girls, like I would say bad girls. They just don't have any direction from their parents. I'm not saying she had no direction, but she was young, and she was older, but girls that parents are just like, go outside and play, do whatever you want. So I'm not saying that their parents were bad. I just had a different, all the places we lived said you can't leave kids unattended. So I had to go outside with my kids and watch them. And basically there was a lot of bullying, which I would be like, time to go in. Like, I basically was the referee, and that, I guess, prevented my kids from being the kids that would be in the fist fights because of the bullying. That people just want to pounce people. I don't know what's wrong with the world today, but yeah, I just want to say, like, thank you to God, because there's complete strangers, little kids, whose parents are in their house sleeping. In the middle, 10 o'clock at night, my kids were sleeping. I had to carry them in the house, and they see me as a struggling mother, and they come to help. We had to cut off all the ivy in the backyard. It was girls. They come to help. We got something from the Goodwill. These big guys put in the back of our car for my daughter. This big thing, and these girls came to help. I said, please help. And two guys here helped me once. I was lifting something heavy once, and I was needing help with a dead rat in my yard once. But so I'm grateful. It's not very common. Before I started this series on getting rid of toxic people or reducing contact. I had, like, people were so rude. Like, they were abnormally rude. Like, you have stores that actually, or buildings that actually have doors you have to open, and you're carrying, like, all these boxes, and you're like, oh my god, I'm about to drop this, it's gonna break, and I'm gonna spill papers everywhere. And you see all these people coming in and out of the door, and they just literally, like, let the door slam right before you get to it. Like, even they look you in the eye, and they just walk away with their nose up, and you're just like, oh my god. So you're, like, trying to, like, get the door open, and can somebody help? And then there's people behind you, like, huffing and puffing, and not one of them. I said this little person, I don't know, like, I mean, they were petite. It was an adult. She was on the phone, and she was, like, pushing on the door at JCPenney. And I always think that I'm short, but when I'm around people of color, like Hispanic or some Asians, I'm like, dude, I am not short anymore. I am, like, a tall person. But as an American, I'm fairly short. And these people are American, but as an American, there's a lot of tall white women and a lot of tall black women. There was this door, and she was trying to push it open. She wasn't really going in. My daughter she doesn't like following people out, so she was already on the other door. So I do this a lot with old people. I'm like in your personal space right behind you, and I just open the door and I hold it so that you can, like, go out. And then I do a lot of martial arts. I try to look behind me. I am rude too sometimes. I try to look behind me and see if someone's behind me so I can hold it for them too. And if they're hobbling or they got kids, I will stand back and let them pass while I stand there. But it sucks though, because when you're in a hurry, you're kind of not into that. You're going to go out a different door, let her deal with her own door, and you're going to let slam behind somebody carrying glass vase. So I just have to keep it in perspective that we're all human, but it's like you almost beg and you want to give them hundreds of dollars and try to call everybody, and the church would yell at me because no one would help me, and I'd call everyone and say, can you help me, please, please, please? And they would all make, no, we don't want to. Like, yeah, we're free that day, we just don't feel like it. Because we're being, like, legitimately lazy. And they would be honest about not wanting to help. So I just have to keep it in mind. Like, if you help a stranger, even if you're a child, like, even, like, we had, like, 6-year-olds helping us cut the yard. And in fact, I had to leave and leave my daughter in charge because I had to go to a birth thing. I was like, girl power. Even if you're a kid and you help somebody, someone like me will remember it for many years. So when I had those hundreds of calls to church people and people that in my neighborhood or something, and they all said, no, we don't want to help you, we don't want to help you, we don't want to help you, I tend to get online and start filling out applications and background checks to go volunteer and teach classes and help in the community. And I'm not in a financial position to do that. But for some reason, we got promised the Salvation Army Christmas gifts when we were part of this program. And they said, oh yeah, you guys are all going to be automatically given Christmas gifts. They said that in front of the kids, and we went back to come like, no, the list is closed. We can't give you anything. And they said, no, that person didn't know. Just come on the day the gifts are given out, and we'll give you the gifts. And we went, and the lady said, I'm sorry, they changed their mind. We're not going to give you any gifts. So they had the whole gym and all these families getting new bikes and all this cookware and all these clothes and toys, all shiny. Big stuff wasn't wrapped. And I had to walk my kids in there and say, you're not getting any gifts. And the first thing that came to mind, you consider your choices. Okay, let's get home before the kids cry, before I cry and get angry. I said, you know what, kids, we're going to help. Can you guys use some volunteers? Yeah, we can use some volunteers. So we spent the day, because the gifts were in the basement. There was like tens of thousands of dollars worth of gifts. Some people had gifts. We're cluttered. I have a pack rat. I don't need gifts anymore. But it's kind of nice to get something new and have something to open on Christmas. So many years, it's like, we don't have anything. I overdrew my bank account buying less than $10 worth of gifts for my kids last summer. That's how bad I've never overdrawn my bank account. Like, I did like 3 cents once. And that was like in 2004, 2005. When we were homeless. So I've gone through the struggle of single parenting and being single and friendless. But we spent the whole day carrying the big bags and helping wrap and watching like little elves, all these people doing the Barbies and the toys and the Legos and carrying bikes up the stairs. This is before I got in a car accident, so I was able to do it. It wasn't easy, actually. It's a lot of stairs, a big gymnasium. And every time after that, we signed up for gifts. They'd always say, like, if you live in one zip code and your kid's school's in and all that, they would always find a reason. Not that we stopped going to Salvation Army. I might have tried one more time. I don't know. I don't think so. It was too humiliating. Because you feel like you really... The scrunchie, I wouldn't have been, like, the reason we have stuff like this is because of student loans. If you see all the junk in my house, now I owe $500,000. Like, if I've paid $5 for a pack of scrunchies, now I'm paying $50 to $500 for a pack of scrunchies, and probably more than $500. If I don't pay in the next 10 years, it's going to be a $5,000. This is going to be $1,000 scrunchie. I kid you not. You do the math. I gotta go. My stomach's growling. But if you help people, like, I just had to turn it around. So now the kids, I'm like, you want a tree? Do you want this? No. Do you want this? Like, we want cake, but I'm slow at making cake. Like, all the stuff that I want the kids to have, and I'm not able to provide it. And then I get into poverty mentality where I don't want to get rid of stuff. Like, this black skirt I really like. I think I'm going to put it up for sale. Like, I wore it, and it fits, but I think I'm going to sell it. It's a little big, but it stays on. It's just, I really want to keep it because I don't have any nice clothes, but I don't get invited to places. So again, thrift store, you buy it, you wear it, you don't wear it, you sell it. Usually stuff like that. So I have so many clothes, gets lost. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do that. Be quiet for 30 minutes and just listen, do my listings so that they're up, so I can start selling stuff. And then I might or might not be back, but I wanted to show you if I do that makeup thing. And this guy was talking about the hurricane. He goes, this is probably going to be the last video. I'm focused on trying to donate and help, but I need to get back to business. So it's like we're all obsessed about finding out information about flooding in people's houses. So with that, for me, I wanted to mention that they showed, this guy particularly was waiting for his videos. I didn't get the alert on my phone. I might have got it. I might have been out of the room. He showed them one of the houses that got flooded and how, like you see in Houston, all the stuff is piled up outside the street. Furniture, boxes of stuff. And it's just a reminder to me that I want to keep that skirt. I have a Dickies skirt. I talk about Dickies, and I showed you already 2 Dickies items. And I have another Dickies item. And actually the waist is huge on me, and the bottom is super tight. But it's like an easy, like, I'm wearing leggings right now. This is size 10. Wow, that's crazy. No wonder. It's easy for me to, like, I should sell it, huh? Get a wash it first. It's easy for me to wear leggings and be like, oh my god, I take my kid to work, and then just throw on a skirt like that and drive. So it's kind of like I'm going out to check the mail. I'm going out, and I don't want to wear leggings. A lot of people wear leggings, but I don't like it. I just felt like I don't want people to see my butt and my crotch. Like, I don't want them to see, like, every curve of my body. It's just me. I mean, jeans do the same thing, basically, but kind of, my hand is out. But I'm gonna, like, pray for those people, because people have their pictures and their life, and even if they have 2 stories and the downstairs gets flooded, they have the upstairs. Water gets in a house, it still causes humidity and mold and green mold and weird mold that you never even knew existed. and that, mushrooms start growing, weird bugs get into your house. So I want to pray for those people as I have a messy house and I don't want to bring anything else in. I can say, I have the opportunity to wash these clothes and hang them up and iron them, and if need be, sell them or even donate them. If need be, throw them out. So I just wanted to put that in perspective, because if something happened, like a fire or flood, this place would be such a mess, which is another reminder. One of my prepping things is I want it clutter-free. If there's martial law and the cops are trying to break in or and hide my animals, or people want to eat my guinea pig or my rabbit, it's like I want to be able to go into a safe room, grab my duffel bag of food and supplies and blankets and the kids and lock ourselves, bury it down. Like, I'm not, hopefully that won't happen, but if there's a fire, we need to be able to get out and not have obstructed pathways. If there's a flooding, or even if the sprinkler gets set, even on accident, like anything that I say, oh, I want to keep this book. Oh, this is a library book. Oh, I want to keep this book. Oh, what about this? I should shred it. Like, I put this up for sale. Nobody's really interested. I'm like, oh, I want this. Oh, I want that. And I'm like, if something were to happen, you wouldn't have this stuff. It would be in a dumpster. And if it was an individual thing, you'd have to hire the dumpster people to come and pay people to just discard it. Artificial furniture turn into cardboard, soggy cardboard. People lift the stuff down the stairs. And so I feel like the best thing to do, unfortunately, like the grass huts in Africa. I mean, fortunately, dirt floors is like, people say, oh my God, there was a big storm and all these huts got washed down. That's someone's house that can be up for 50 years, 100 years. Like I said yesterday, the house stops being lived in, the barn stops being used, the roof caves in, mice get in there, spiders get in there. I didn't get that far, but it's like it goes back to being like a forest or a grassland. And so you see these houses like, oh, donate money, donate money. You're like, there's one thing about that. They got pots and pans, they got clothes and blankets, and the storm wiped out their house. And now they got to rebuild the roof and rebuild the floor and rebuild the walls and their little door. And I said one thing about it's like my cat. She had her cat carrying a sock, and then she had herself and, of course, a food and water dish. But she didn't have, like, oh my God, it's bad enough you need your wallet and your ID and your, I need a wallet, by the way, and all of that stuff that you need as humans, birth certificates, papers for this, lease and insurance paperwork. It's bad enough you need all that stuff, but it's like, in my mind, it's like, I don't need 5 pairs of khaki or olive drab pants. Apparently one time I did think I needed them, or I saw them on sale. I think a lot of why I have them all is because I was wearing them all the time when I was at home or at school. I thought I could wear them to clinic, but they're like, I wanted Dickies because I thought it would be a good idea to have pockets to put like pens and cell phone in and stuff, but I got in trouble. They're like, you can wear khaki cargo pants, but not green, and you can wear slacks. But I was just like, they were making up rules basically. And sometimes it does say you can't wear cargo pants, which I think is weird because it's basically like slacks with a pocket on the side. So my goals between now and 11:45, which is 2 hours, are to list what I drafted, to take a shower, and to get my cocoa, banana, and whatever, because I'm hungry. And then I gotta fax at least one billing thing, but I should do a stack of them. That would take me the whole hour. So if I listed for half an hour, took a shower, got dressed for half an hour, and then did billing and faxing for an hour, I would literally be like, shoes on, socks on, get in the car and go. And I really want to clean. I got to do the dishes. So this is what happens with me. I have a lot of businesses. I need to order these supplements from this company. I have a lot of businesses, and I'm not able to get everything done. And then I'm going to work for 6 hours, so I'm not going to be able to get everything done. So, I mean, technically, like, I could take this stuff and list it right now, or take pictures and go back and list it during my lunch break. But usually by the time I go to my car and grab a drink of water and put the music on, it's like, oh, it's like, oh, I'm tired, I take a 5-minute nap, and it's time to go back in. It's not like I brought stuff to list before. I think I finalized the listing a couple times at work. Maybe, like, I don't think I have finalized it. I think during my break I've relisted stuff. So I think it's just a matter of getting through this weekend and knowing that the 3 hours I spend listing these 3 items and potentially getting a negative $3 plus my fees to the company for my monthly fee. It's like, just having a store, if you don't sell anything, not selling fees, just having a store. It's like, well, that is going to be, at least my job is going to pay me $100 this weekend. It's not like a little over $100. It's like, well, it's better than nothing. So, but I went to school to be able to pay back my loans and to make a living, and it's not happening. And the job that I have has nothing to do with my education, and it's kind of still not happening. So again, being like, I want my white picket fence. I want my relationship. I want my friends. I want to have a backyard barbecue, even if it's raw food and you don't actually barbecue anything. It's just like, I want, and it's like, you don't get it, and so it's like, everybody else around you seems to have that. I have to look at the fact, every time I go to the mailbox, I open up my mail and look at it. So I have a tendency to put it down, so it's probably best to actually look at it. And I go to my neighbors' houses and read their mail because I can't read. So even if it's a bill or it's this, I can understand it. I can read the due date. I could read what the charges are for. People get stuff that looks like bills that are like just ads, and they're like, "Oh, I got to pay this." Like, no, this is the ad. You're not gonna pay this. Or you choose to pay it, but this is not a bill. Like, so I have to even think that I can talk to you, and that I can do. I was thinking I should do my foreign language study, and that I can read and write. The people I know that read and write, that don't read and write, they make more money every month, than I ever have. So they make more in a year than I've ever made total in my life. And that's the irony of it. Irony? I've been pronouncing iron. The irony of it is that I'm not able to, God, I hope they don't have inspection. I'm all freaked out. I'm not able to do what I want to do. And make a living. It's really hard. And then I get penalized, and then people know my education, and they think that I'm trying to scam them, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm seriously struggling. And you're on the phone politely saying, I can't believe you don't believe me, and that you're trying to literally put me and my kids out on the street. I can't believe it. It just breaks your heart. So every time you help someone hold the door open, people like me have people battering you, complete strangers, the housing authority manager yelling at you, calling you a liar. They don't know me. I turn in every slip of paper, every receipt, every pay stub that I have. I'm not hiding anything. They have every bank account. They have access to every bank account. They know how broke I am. And they still think, because of how I speak or because of my education level, that I'm trying to hide something. I wish to God I had enough money to go somewhere and rent or buy a private facility, private home. I wouldn't sit here and be charged double rent when I could get a bigger place with a private garage and driveway and yard for less money than this place. Why? Like, I wouldn't, like, that's, like, it's, sometimes when people accuse you or something, you're like, no one in the right mind would do that. No one. There's a lot of people that aren't in their right mind. So it makes me feel like they think that I'm not in my right mind. It'd be like trying to go buy a lemon car for $400,000. And somebody's got like a little Toyota here for $4,000. My right mind would buy the little Toyota, there's nothing wrong with it, for $4,000. Low mileage. Instead of going to buy a lemon that keeps breaking down, that's been in a bunch of wrecks. Like, they think that, like, it's like nobody in their right. Like, if you come in the house, see my technology, see our cars, see our raggedy clothes, see our old mismatched furniture, you're going to see what people that are scamming you have in their house compared to me. You're going to see their earrings and their jewelry compared to what I have. You're going to see what type of foods and name brand products they have in their fridge that I don't have. Like, it's just really, really hard because people, they want to pass judgment on you and not open their eyes to the truth. And what's the hardest is they have no reason to believe that I'm lying.